you're first starting out, going plant-based can seem really overwhelming. It can feel like there's so much to do, there's so much to learn, and you can feel so far away from where you want to be that the whole process just becomes really stressful. And a lot of people fall into the trap of spending way too much time cooking, feeling like they have no time for themselves, and really just getting burnt out by the entire process. And that's exactly what happens when people put their food first. So a lot of people tend to think of plant-based as just a diet. But when you think about it as just a diet and focus on just your food, it becomes a lot more stressful than it needs to be. So if you want to make plant-based easy, the best way to do that is to create a lifestyle that focuses on you. So when you're focused on you and not just your food, you're not spending a ton of time cooking. You're not getting stressed out and overwhelmed by the process. You're actually creating the lifestyle that you set out for in the very beginning. So in this video, I want to share with you 8 do's and don'ts when it comes to starting a plant-based lifestyle. So one of the mistakes that I see beginners make all the time is that they try to do it all at once. And plant-based has a lot of moving pieces to it, especially if you're trying to create a lifestyle change. So there's not only what items you're transitioning out, there's also what items are you going to transition in. What recipes are you going to cook? Are you familiar with cooking plant-based, or are you used to cooking a Western diet? Or, if you're looking to start the lifestyle portion sooner than your diet, what habits are you going to start doing and creating those habits? There's a lot of moving pieces here that people don't think about. And they just kind of think that, okay, yeah, I'll nail this and do it perfectly all at once, and that just doesn't happen. And it adds so much more stress and overwhelm to the process than there needs to be. So what you want to do instead is go at your own pace, and I highly recommend chunking it down into pieces that feel manageable to you. So that way you're focusing on 1 or 2 things at a time, and when you feel comfortable, you can move on to the next thing. So that way it's not so overwhelming and you're not adding all of this extra pressure and stress to yourself. You're actually taking at a pace that feels really comfortable and right for you. So another mistake that I see beginners make all the time is that they're getting too experimental with their food too fast. And what I mean by that is that they're focusing on recipes or ingredients that they're really unsure that they're going to like. And a lot of the times what happens is they'll put all of this time and energy into cooking these meals and they're coming out okay at best. So what you want to do instead is focus on recipes and ingredients that you already love. That way all the time and energy that you're putting in the kitchen, you're actually going to create something that you love. And it can be a lot of fun to veganize and recreate some of your favorite recipes. So that way you don't feel like you're missing out on anything when you can have the vegan versions that are going to taste amazing. So another mistake that I talked a little bit about at the beginning of this video is focusing on plant-based as just a diet. So when you're focusing on just your food, all of your time and energy is going towards that. And that can quickly lead to burnout, to feelings of stress and overwhelm because you don't have time for other areas of your life. You're really focusing on dedicating all of your time and energy to your food, and that causes so much stress and overwhelm in the long run. So what you want to do instead is focus on plant-based as a lifestyle and one that is specifically centered on you. So if you want to make plant-based last long term, you want to make sure that it's actually going to work for you. And that means being consistent with who you are, so you're not focusing on someone else's idea of what plant-based is or should be. You're really creating something that is in alignment with not only who you are, but also what goals you want to achieve by going plant-based, and really integrating it into every area of your life by making it a lifestyle is the best way to make it last long term. So another mistake that I see people make all the time is that they try to do everything right perfectly the first time, whether it's plant-based or something entirely different. Whenever you're doing something for the first time, you're always going to mess up, you're going to make mistakes, you're not going to be perfect, and that's absolutely okay. Do not beat yourself up for being human. So what you want to do instead is embrace the journey, learn from your mistakes, the challenges, the ups, the downs. It's really all part of the process of going plant-based. It's all part of the experience. And when you're not stressing out about trying to do everything right all the time, it really helps you take everything in stride, and it takes so much stress and overwhelm out of the process. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you get notified whenever I put out a new video. And if you're looking to create a plant-based lifestyle that works for you, you can download my guide, The 5-Step Method to Making Plant-Based Easy Without Spending Hours Cooking. You can find a link to that in the description and in the comments below, and I will see you next time.